So, how does that work? That happens. Dead people, creepy things, entities will pretend to be things they aren't in an effort to be allowed to stay, in an effort to scare you or to freaking amuse themselves, which is kind of sick if you think about it. What are some of the things that they do? There are things. One of them is mimicking the sound of another person's voice in the house. Most often, I hear that one of the adults' voices is being mimicked. So a child will hear their mom calling their name when the mom isn't calling them, or a parent hearing a child fighting or yelling, and they go find what's to figure out what's going on. The child's playing quietly in their room and never made that noise at all. It creates chaos. That's the closest I can get to an answer. Again, I am not an expert on this. I'm just telling you the things that I've seen over and over that have been repeated over my career. So mimicking another person is definitely something that they do. Looking like things they aren't. Most often, these show up in the form of whatever the person is afraid of. For me, for a long time, I would see bugs. I would see giant spiders or big creepy crawlies just out of the corner of my eye. It's not like I was seeing them full on, but I would know it was a bug. I would know it was a spider, and I lived in the Southwest for a long time. So tarantulas in the house, scorpions in the house, that was not an unheard of thing. It happened, but I was terrified of spiders. Seeing creepy things, snakes, mice, whatever it is that you're afraid of, putting that visual into your path creates fear. Fear feeds the thing. So I don't know if fear feeds dead people. I believe that it's just a heightened energy. Anybody who's been startled knows how much physical energy goes into that startle. Like it's your body is not under your control when you're startled. It's a physical, energetic reaction. I think there's something about that gives them added power. So mimicking, showing you weird things. The noises is a big one. So the dead don't often move things in the same way that poltergeists do. Again, a poltergeist is not an evil thing. It's not like you've seen in the movies. A poltergeist is literally created by the energy of humans over a long enough timeline repeatedly. It sort of congeals into its own thing. Looking like something they aren't, other than those bugs or whatever. So I've told you about the person who was close to me who died by their own hand and used to show up randomly trying to look really scary. I don't know why he was doing that. He would show up and I knew it was him. It was definitely his energy. It felt like him, but he would take on all these weird forms, like these giant Egyptian gods with animal heads. I don't know why, because that didn't frighten me, but that is also a pattern of the dead taking on the form of something else just to be scary. Again, I'm an expert. I think it's to create that fear response because that is an energy exchange. There are all kinds of weird things that these things can take on. Then there are the benign ones. So one more real quick. The dead often show up in readings to me looking like they did when they feel they look their best. If they were really old, oftentimes they'll show me what they look like in their 50s or their 40s, which I always thought was interesting. I'd be like, I still, in my head, think I'm like 35. So that seems to be the age that everybody sort of represents themselves, even if that isn't how they looked when they died. So it isn't always bad. It isn't always scary.